like and subscribe to see more videos like this one. What's up, guys, and welcome back to my video. So this is another Sunday's Best video. I will be talking today about journaling to God. In my last video, I said that I was going to make a video about my journal to God, and so in this video, I'm going to do just that. So first, let's start off with what I use. I just use this journal with the strap from Walmart. It did also have some ribbons for bookmarking, but I accidentally ripped those out because I dropped it on the floor and I tried to catch it, caught it by the ribbons, and they came out. So yeah, but this is mine. It just says smile often and dream big. I like this notebook because it has side pages. I show you guys this anytime I talk about paper. I definitely use side pages. I believe there's 192 pieces of paper inside of this journal, and these are my favorite because they are large enough that I don't have to write super tiny. So aside from that, I also use these Papermate Flair pens. Typically I would use the Papermate Inkjoys, but I've noticed lately that my Inkjoys are dying very quickly. So I use the same colors all the time, and they are just really dying very quickly. This pack of Inkjoys also came with a dark blue one, but I don't have that one. I dropped it behind the bed last night when I was writing my journal, so I gotta get that. But anyways, the way I start is I have a key in the front of my journal in different colors, and I will read to you what those colors are. So pink is thankfulness, which is things that I am thankful for. So blue is confessions, anything I feel like I need to get off my chest, anything I feel like I need to tell God, anything I messed up on that day or whatever the case was. Then I have a teal green, which I just use the Inkjoy pen for. That is requests for God, anything that I need from him, anything I need to ask him, anything I need his guidance on, anything I need him to change, anything I need him to fix, anything I need him to intervene in, or any questions that I may have. And I don't know about y'all, but like in this new journey in life, like I have so many questions about everything. I have questions about everything. Like one of the questions that I asked my mom the other day, and she just looked at me like I was crazy. But I was like, why do you think God chose blue for the sky and blue for the ocean and green for the grass? Like, what was his thought process? Like, those are the kind of questions but those are not really the questions that I put in my journal. Those are just questions that I just randomly ask out loud to God. And am I going to get an answer? Probably not to those, but when I get to heaven, like I'm gonna just sit there with God and be like, so can I just ask you, like, you know, can I just ask you these crazy things? But aside from that, I use the purple one for my prayers to other. This part of my journal, I've gotten to a point now where I have like a prayer list at the beginning of the week. And so at the beginning of the week, I will take the people on that prayer list and kind of separate them between days. I pray for my friends, I pray for my family, I pray for people that I don't know, I pray for people who I've encountered during the day people that I didn't have a good interaction with. I pray for our leaders, world leaders. I pray for the minds of, that was a horn honking outside. I just pray for the minds of the people that I encounter, pray for the minds of the men that I encounter that are crazy. I just pray for whenever I need to pray for somebody. It's purple. Then in black, which I use a Inkjoy pen for that as well. I'll write any scriptures. Like I use my U Bible app a lot. And so the scriptures that I get from my U Bible app, I will dissect those inside of my journal just so that I get a full understanding of what those things mean. I use those in conjunction with my Strong's Concordance, just so that I know that I'm reading the right word the right way that it's supposed to be said, and then I know the context of the chapter and what was meant when I was reading. Then the last one is orange, which is usually just like highlighted. Sometimes I will highlight parts in scripture with orange, but orange is typically blessings realized. So guys, I got a little bit interrupted in the last part of that video. We were talking about my orange Papermate flare, and this one is just simply blessings realized. So things that I prayed about or things that I wrote down in this journal, and right here it says God did that. So a lot of times we ask for things, and we ask for things that are so small from a God that is so big. I know, like, sometimes I'll go back and look at things that I've asked for and things that I received, and I'm like, why was I thinking so small when God is so big? But anyway, so I'm just going to continue to move forward through here. A lot of times I have, sometimes I'll have scripture notes in here as well. So sometimes when I do that, that will take up a significant amount of pages with my journal. Sometimes I will just write a list of things. So like I'll title it like thanks, and I'll just write out a list of things that I'm thankful for. And then with my confessions, things that I need to confess, I might just write out a list. Prayers, I may just write the people's name and the thing that I want to pray for them about, and then just go ahead and pray for them with that, and just have like a list of things that I want to make sure that I cover in that prayer. Sometimes I am super vulnerable and super lengthy with God, and so when I write my thanks out, I will write my thanks and just write and write and write to God. And if I, you know, have confessions, I will write those confessions out, and I will write those questions out, and I just make sure that I get everything out. But every day is not the same. Every day is different. Well, not every day, but days are different. Some days are the same. You know, it's just kind of how I'm feeling that day, because I know we all have those days where it's like we don't even want to talk to God. And I try to make sure that those days are few and far between. And I try to make sure that if there was too many of those days, that I really spend time on my knees and worshiping with God when I get in those places, because it's usually a heart thing. You know what I'm saying? It's usually, there's something that I feel like I'm guilty of in my heart. And so I'm turning my back away from God. Sorry guys, my bra showing, but I'm turning myself away from God. And a lot of times it's not even something that I realize that I'm doing. Like, oh, I don't want to pray today, or I don't want to write in my journal today, or I don't want to. And then I have to go back and think, well, what's going on? What's going on, Shawty? What's going on? So those are some of the things that I do with my blessings realized. Sometimes I will just like make a little note of the blessing that was realized. Or sometimes I will take the time and actually underline the blessing that was realized. So it just kind of depends on what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, where I'm at, as far as like, so here's an example of that. And I'm trying not to show you all my business, you know, because she's got some business in here. And sometimes, you know, I'll highlight things, and things have people's names in them. And so if they were to see these videos, I mean, granted, you know, it's okay if they know that I'm praying for them, but I don't want their business, you know, out here in front of you guys. Sometimes when I don't feel like writing to God, I would just grab a black pen and just write in black. I've done that a few times. I didn't feel like it, but I did it anyway, and I felt better afterwards. But I'll just write in black, because either I didn't feel like it, I didn't feel like changing out pens. But like I said at the beginning, I was starting to notice my InkJoy gel pens were not working as well as they typically did. So, you know, sometimes it'll be whatever, and sometimes the colors will randomly change from one color to a different color of the same hue. So, you know, it is what it is. But I just wanted to take some time and share this with you guys, because I know that when I got started just really trying to spend more time with God. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to talk about. And so I started with, I think, a list of like goals that I have for myself. And that's another video that I'll do, is how to make God driven goals. But I had to make a list of goals, things that I wanted, things that I needed to ask God about, and just kind of move from there. In these journals, I have my requests for my husband. I think my other journal may have some letters to my future husband. Sometimes I write letters to my future children. Sometimes I write, stop that. Sometimes I write letters to family members when there are things that they're struggling with and I can't physically see them or be with them. So I write a lot in these journals. This is the second one that I've had since May, I think, when I started journaling. And I just really like this way of talking to God. And then like when you go back and you look at what you've said, it's just like, ooh, girl, the growth, or ooh, I'm still dealing with that. That's something that I really need to continue to talk to God about. Or, you know, it's just, it's an amazing way to get your expressions or your feelings or your thoughts or your this or your that. It's a really amazing way to get it out. And being a counselor, I always encourage kids that I work with to write things out, write how you feel, write what you're thinking. When I have friends who have had some grief or loss in their lives recently, the first thing that I tell them to do is to start writing it or start recording it. Your thoughts, your feelings, your expressions, whatever you want to say, just start writing or recording it. So that is it. I hope that you were able to enjoy this video. To see more videos like this, click the subscribe button down below. Give me a like and let me know what are your thoughts about journaling to God. All right, guys, so thank you again so much for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.